My name is Toluwani Babs-Ajayi. I am from Nigeria, and this is my second year at this great school, Mount Vernon Academy. As humans, we are constantly told what is and what isn't, what is right and wrong, and especially what we should believe in or not. Many ideologies and theories from countless sources have been instilled in our minds since birth and repeatedly sung into our ears. It is then up to oneself whether to sing along or rather switch the tune. I often sit and wonder how different my life would be if I had been sung a different melody. Would I be better off or worse? No one could ever know the answer but me. Ever since I could remember, my family has been going to church. Sundays were always the busiest, most stressful, but most convivial days. I recall the times when my parents would dress my brothers and me in our finest attire, adorned in flashy suits and shiny buckled black leather shoes. I always felt on top of the world, especially when the elderly men and women complimented my snazzy outfit. I would walk into service, grinning cheek to cheek with a cup of lukewarm, overly sugared lemonade in my right hand and a pack of golden Oreo biscuits snuggled deep in my oversized suit jacket. I always loved going to church with my family as a sprout, but always left not understanding anything the pastor had said during the sermon. I struggled to comprehend the reality of how Jonah in the Bible was swallowed by a big blue whale and survived 3 days and 3 nights, or how Jesus turned water into wine. But my parents seemed to fathom, so I just followed suit, knowing deep down I have never been more perplexed. As I got older, the tune got even louder, so loud that it was all I ever heard. We started going to church about 3 times a week now, and one would think that with how often I go for service, I'd at least know somewhat of what was going on. But my mind was still blank. The messages and preachings the pastor emphatically rang to the congregation simply came through one ear and slipped out the other. It was common for me to say to myself during service, this definitely cannot be real. I started challenging all the teachings and stories. I tried finding the logic in each situation, but I could never see through the haze that my mind had already set before my eyes. I joined online forums and conferences to share my concerns, but to no avail. One day, I was watching a short TikTok video made by a high schooler addressing young teens who were struggling in the faith. At first, I was reluctant to watch, but seeing as it was someone like me, someone my age, I proceeded. The video touched on all my doubts and gave reason for them, but one key point that the young man made stuck with me. He mentioned that you cannot find the way and the faith by others telling it for you. You must go on that journey by yourself. In anything, you cannot learn by having others do it for you. You must experience it, feel it, taste it, and create your own story. I took the time to look back in my life and reflect, putting the puzzle pieces together to develop my own story and my own song. I chose to sing along to the tune, but now with my lyrics. I was unsure about the future, about whether I would make it to see the next day or what was next for me, but in every situation, God has made a way. Many go around in circles looking for different sources to answer their questions, but in a lot of cases, experience is the best teacher. So now I ask you, what is your experience, what is your story, and what is your song?